Well, a very good evening to you. And curtains have finally come down after a whole month of tears, blood, sweat, push, groove, and a whole month. Finally, Argentina has carried the day. The 16-carat golden cup. Finally, Lionel Messi carrying the day, and this being his last one. After a whole 120 minutes of push and pull, and finally Argentina carries the day. We'll definitely be bringing you all this, the whole month, the whole highlights, and finally 4-2 after Martinez's score. Definitely, but first, let's take a look at the highlights.
Tonight, Gachagua supports CS Kindiki's call for police to protect themselves in line of duty.
Wewe kama uko na silaha unatisha polisi na hako na silaha, itakuwa mbaya. And there is nothing wrong, because the police officers, to protect you, must first protect themselves.
Court to rule whether the tribunal formed to probe for IEBC commissioners has the powers to do so or not. Plus, curtains close for the World Cup 2022 in Qatar after a month.
Well, thank you for choosing us this particular evening. And Captain Simole is on the sign language docket and amused truly. Stanley Iringitana to first story this evening. Deputy President Gachagua has called on the Samburu community to switch political allegiance and support the William Ruto government, saying that for a long time the region has rallied behind Azimio leader Raila Odinga, who failed to clinch the top seat, making the area miss out on top government positions. The DP also defended the recent remarks by Interior CS Kindiki Kithure on police protecting the lives in line of duty.
Deputy President Gachagua Sunday attended church service at Maralal Catholic Church in Samburu. Accompanying the second in command were Kenya Kwanza and local leaders, where 2027 politics took center stage.
Watu ya Samburu, mimi ni rafiki wenu na nataka tukubaliane. Hii mzee, tafadhali sasa tuachane naye sasa. Mahali tumefika. Because mumeweka kura yenu kwake kila mwaka mnazimia.
Picking cue from the just concluded 2022 elections voting pattern of Samburu County, Gachagua called on the region to back the William Ruto-led Kenya Kwanza government to deliver its mandate to Kenyans.
Yule mzee wenu, hakuna kanisa amejenga hata moja. Hakuna shule amejenga hata moja. Hakujagi hapa. Baada ya miaka 5 tukienda kura mnapigia yeye. Sasa saa ingine hatumuelewi. Na sasa vile mimi nataka tutengeneze urafiki, ningetaka nianze kuelewa nyinyi.
Leaders accompanying the deputy president echoed his words, telling the Samburu community they have gained very little despite the overwhelming support to the Azimio leader Raila Odinga, adding that in the Kenya Kwanza government they will benefit a lot.
William Ruto is the next president of the Republic of Kenya for another 10 years. Na kama unataka kusimama 2027, afadhali ungojee 2032 mumenyane na Rigathi Gachagua.
So Your Excellency, mimi nataka kuomba kwa heshima wasamehe watu yetu, washare sisi 2027 tutalipa deni. Hiyo tu ndio naomba, hakusema mingi.
Matters security of the region, Gachagua fully backed Inspector General Japhet Koome's order to police officers to use guns to protect themselves against criminals these coming hours after the Independent Policing Oversight Authority IPOA criticized the National Police Service over the use of force on suspected criminals.
Police officers wetu ndio wakulinde, lazima wajilinde kwanza. Wewe kama uko na silaha unatisha polisi na hako na silaha, itakuwa mbaya. And there is nothing wrong, because the police officers, to protect you, must first protect themselves.
Moige William, TV 47.
And from that, Kisii County Governor Simba has strongly condemned the attack on baby Sagini, further calling on government administrators to monitor and offer counseling to families that go through marital challenges. And as Andrin Kilemina reports, the 3-year baby is responding well to treatment, although doctors say he may not be able to regain his eyesight.
Day 3 at the Kisii Eye Hospital, and baby Sagini is recuperating after a surgical procedure. Kisii County Governor Simba Arati Sunday paid the toddler a visit, describing the gouging out of his eyes as appalling and despicable.
It's unfortunate that this has happened to a small boy, 3-year-old.
Arati further urged security agencies and government administrators in the villages to monitor families that go through marital challenges and to offer counseling sessions to avert such challenges.
The only thing we can do is that I know, and I'm realizing this is a thing which has been raised. There is a mental health issue in many families, not necessarily in Kisii, countrywide, which we think that we need to look into.
Kisii Eye Hospital Director Dan Kiage said the boy was responding well to treatment and ready for discharge. He, however, noted that the boy would not be able to regain his eyesight.
Being able to suture and control the infection and make sure the child is fine. Fortunately, the child is quite healthy, he's talking, he's walking around, although blind, and is actually healed. So he should be discharged.
The bizarre incident that has since left the 3-year-old boy blind occurred Wednesday evening after baby Sagini mysteriously disappeared from home, only to be found a day later dumped in a banana farm with his eyes gouged out. Police are still in search of the perpetrators. Andrin Akilemi, TV 47.
And for 2 weeks now, faithful of our Cyprian Church of East Africa in Iratemala have closed the doors of the church on allegations that the Reverend has squandered all the money in the church coffers. Chichi Josephine reports.
According to the faithful, their Reverend Moses Mururi Karaoke has been using money from church coffers meant for construction of the church. The congregants have also leveled claims against the Reverend on immorality, saying that on several occasions he has made advances towards the church female members when they visit his office.
Tangu miaka hiyo ingine yote tumeenda vizuri sana, lakini miezi 9 hivi inaenda 10 tukaletewa mchungaji anaitwa Reverend Moses Karaoke. Ukienda kwake kwa ofisi, unaenda kumsoti problem zake, anaanza immorality. Ukienda counseling, kwanza anakutaka. We have a lot of money lost in the church. We want to build our church. We cannot build because the money is lost through the session.
On September this year, the faithful had approached the said Reverend through their representative in the church to table their complaints, but their complaints haven't been looked into since then, adding that they have also written letters to the headquarters parish, but their complaints haven't been addressed.
Members are very disappointed because of the Reverend. Because when we went and called him in a meeting, because of the money getting lost, when we called him in a meeting, the members and sent a few members to go, a few leaders to go and talk to him. Instead of improving, he told us he will look into it.
Sasa tuko na mpango wengine ya kujenga cathedral hapa, lakini mahali tumefika hatuwezi jenga hata choo, kwa maana ni kama wale watu tuko nao wako na tumbo kubwa sana.
For 2 weeks, the congregants have been conducting fellowship outside the church compound as they now want the parish to hear their plea and settle the matter.
Na tunataka Njoroge moderator akuje hapa ati ili tufungue kanisa, atuambie kama tunahubiri ujiri ya ukweli ama ya uongo. We have not been going to church for example about 2 weeks now. We have closed the church because of the things that we want the parish to do for us.
Chichi Josephine, TV 47.
Moses must go. Moses must go.
Right, let's go back to Qatar and what whole emotions across not only in Qatar, not only in Argentina, and even right here in Kenya. And Kylian Mbappe's hat-trick was in vain.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday.
Feelings here, Argentina. Congrats all time. Now let's move on to our next story. The High Court is expected to rule whether the tribunal formed to investigate IEBC commissioners, including former Vice Chair Juliana Cherera, former commissioners Justice Nyanza and Francis Wanderi, and current Commissioner Irene Masit, has the powers to probe the four or not. And as reports Mike Kagwongo, Masit wants the tribunal to be disbanded, and the High Court handed the mandate listening to the case.
IEBC Commissioner Irene Masit is against attempts to remove her from office alongside her three former colleagues, even as tribunal formed to investigate the four is expected to start its sittings on Monday. Through her lawyer Donald Kipkorir, Masit wants her case to be thrown out, citing constitutional provisions going against laid down procedures, political interference and biasness. In court documents, Kipkorir claims the tribunal is carrying on with a case that lacks merit. The lawyer claims initial petitions filed against Masit, former Vice Chairperson Juliana Cherera, and Commissioners Justice Nyanza and Francis Wanderi lacked merit, insisting that they went against Sections 107 and 108 on the Law on Evidence and Section 52B of the Constitution.
This tribunal is subordinate to the High Court, and in view of the fact that now we have a petition which is live, which seeks to quash these proceedings, it may only be good order again, and again the same thing on substantial justice, that we defer taking directions until after 19th. Once we know what the trial judge will direct on 19th of December.
Recently, Masit, who is among IEBC commissioners who disowned William Ruto's August 9th presidential election results, claimed to have been threatened by a unknown person, besides alleging that her official car and security were withdrawn. Agri Muchelule, the tribunal's chair, said Masit deserves to enjoy her privileges as IEBC commissioner until the case is heard and determined. Concerning claims of threats against her, he said as for now they will be treated as mere allegations.
We wish you well, even as we ask that these proceedings will commence. The first witness will begin testifying on 20th.
The court will on Monday rule whether the tribunal formed by President William Ruto has the power to discharge its mandate or not. Mike Kagwongo, TV 47, Nairobi.
Right, thanks, Mike Kagwongo, for that, and we'll definitely be updating you tomorrow when the tribunal, the Muchelule tribunal, begins officially tomorrow. We'll definitely be updating you on all that. Now, Kikuyu elders have urged the church to refrain from interfering with community elders' rights to circumcise boys, since this has been their mandate. The National Council of Elders patron Captain Kungu Muigai officiated the rite of passage graduation ceremony for more than 400 graduates in Gatundu South and accused the church of interfering with the tradition.
According to the elders, there's no competition between them and the church, urging the religious bodies to concentrate on preaching the gospel and instilling morals to the society and leave the cultural tradition to the elders, who are also the members of the church.
There's no conflict between the churches and the elders. First of all, we are members of those churches. We are the ones who build those churches. Our wives are members of those churches.
The chairman of the council says the community have lost many cultural traditions and that they are doing the best in returning the cultural practices through teaching the young men on their roles in the 10-day stay with the elders after circumcision.
Siku 10 walikuwa na hapa na wazee wakipatiwa mawaidha yale watakuwa wakiendelea naye.
Kukaa hata siku moja afikiria ataenda kuolewa, mtoto wa kijana ataishi kama mwanaume na atakuja kuoa vile Wakikuyu walikuwa wanafanya na kulingana na mila zetu.
The elders say there's no way they will agree with the church on matters culture, since it's not their role.
I think the role of circumcising the boy child rests solely with the elders, and the church have no role.
According to them, the main role to circumcise their sons is not for malicious practices, but preventing them from infections.
And we are not malicious, they are our friends. We are not malicious. We want them to keep their role, their lane, and we keep our lane.
They say they are committed in supporting the government in fight against this killer abuse. They saying this goes unchecked, the community risks losing a whole generation. Khaemba Emmanuel, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, at the same time, Deputy President Gachagua this evening condoled with the family of former Mathira MP Matu Wamae. Speaking when he visited the family at their home in Lavington, Nairobi, the DP mourned the former MP and businessman as a dedicated and focused patriot who was among Kenyans who spearheaded the country's business sector after independence in 1963. The DP described the late politician as having been a great man, a patriot, a nationalist, and an industrious leader who has left a towering legacy.
Better, and we are rising higher and higher. Tupige makofi kwa sababu ya mambo haya. Kia Mungu kuja.
All right, moving on, ICT Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo is urging leaders from Nyanza region to cooperate with the national government for the benefit of the residents. The national government is ready, or rather Owalo says the national government is ready to work with them, especially in boosting the region's economy, and that they will ensure as Kenya Kwanza government, they deliver their promises to Kenyans. Owalo, who was speaking from Nyasanda Primary School in Gunja constituency, where he distributed relief food to vulnerable families.
When we were campaigning during the campaigns as Kenya Kwanza, we did say that the agenda we have for this region is the agenda of the economy. Therefore, the politics that we will do in this region is politics of the economy. When we come over here, we will be engaging the masses, discussing issues to do with the revitalization of the sugar industry, revitalization of the cotton sector, optimal exploitation of our fishing potential within the blue economy, issues to do with rice, issues to do with agro-processing industries, how to ensure that the revenues emanating from mining in places like Wagusu or Makalda in South Nyanza are plowed back to the common residents. Those are the type of discussions that we will be having in this region. We want to state once more that we are ready and willing to work with the leadership of this region, those who are elected and those who are non-elected on the single agenda of economic development and empowerment of the people. Let us work together moving forward so that we can uplift the standards of living of the people.
Right, let's take a look at what is happening in the counties. In a section of Kitui leaders led by County Commissioner Erastus Mbui held a peace meeting in Mwingi Central after 2 people were killed within this week by suspected camel herders. This story and others from the counties were produced by Andrew Juma.
Despite a directive by Eastern Regional Commissioner Evans Achoki to drive all camels away 2 months ago, over 6 people have lost lives while scores have been left nursing injuries in parts of Mwingi North, Mwingi East, Kitui East and Kitui South, a move which has seen a section of Kitui leaders hold a peace meeting in Mwingi.
Mahali utaona bunduki, mahali utaona ngamia, there is a probability unafara hapo. Sasa wewe ukitoka na mshale waenda kufanya nini?
Sisi tunataka kujua report ikipigwa pale polisi, ngamia imeonekana mahali fulani, watu ya hapa Kadungu wanafaa kwenda kuandikisha statement kwanza, ama polisi anafaa kukimbia kwanza kufukuza ngamia? Polisi kwanza. Na kama ngamia imeonekana hakuna statement ya kuandikisha, report tu na simu.
The team held meetings with locals from Kathungu, Manzwele, Ukasi in Mwingi Central in a bid to come up with a solution to the recurrent camel invasion for over 40 years now.
Hata mkiambia wale ma NPR wenu, mkiwaambia nendeni mukafukuza ngamia tumeona mahali fulani, wanaambiwa na hii wakubwa yao muziende.
Elsewhere, police in Limuru are looking for a man suspected to have stabbed a teen over confrontation of visiting an initiate in Kwambira, Limuru. TV47 established that the family of the deceased were urgently called at the hospital where the victim had been rushed, but on arrival, they found their son had died.
Wakati alitolewa guo, tuliona alikuwa amedungwa kisu kono wa kushoto kwa roho. Na inaonekana hiyo vita ilikuwa kubwa kwa sababu sio hapo peke yake, hata mwili ingine alikuwa na damu kidogo hivi. Na inaonekana alikufa kwa sababu ya kutoa damu ya ndani, internal bleeding.
In Rift Valley region, the area regional commissioner Mali Mohammed has issued a stern warning to bandits along Isiolo Marsabit highway. It is said that the criminals take advantage of this festive season where they attack road users.
We have seen the first cohort of the NPRs having undergone a thorough training. They are now full soldiers and they will be able to deal with these bandits who are amateurs in terms of, they think carrying an AK-47 is that easy, but they will be dealt with, I can assure you, because the government machinery cannot be everywhere. But with the additional NPRs, we'll be able to deal firmly with the issues of bandit.
And in Busina, Catholic Bishop Mark Kadima has urged Kenyans to preach peace during these festivities.
It's a time to come together. We can love and be with each other forever. Okay? That gift of grace, that sustenance makes the impossible happen. That people who are so diverse can come together and form a union which is indissoluble and permanent and make others happy.
Finally, over 3,000 households in Turkana East Sub-County are set to benefit from 65 tons of foodstuff donated